Thank you very much for being my guest on the Marketplace today. Now, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has expressed the government's full commitment to issuing the West African single currency, the ECO, from next year. English-speaking countries in ECOWAS region are expected to start issuing the ECO from 2020, as if they have been able to meet all the basic requirements for issuing the currency. Speaking at a meeting in Accra for finance ministers and central bank governors from ECOWAS countries, Ken Ofori-Atta says the government has already instituted the necessary laws to aid the move.
Ghana remains firmly committed to the ECOWAS 2020 single currency program, as amply demonstrated by the leadership of President Akufo-Addo, and thus Ghana's pivotal role in the activities of the Presidential Task Force. Mr. Chairman, honorable ministers, distinguished delegates, at the end of 2018, Ghana had met 3 out of the 4 primary convergence criteria and all the 2 secondary criteria. Even though meeting the fiscal deficit criterion remains a challenge, Ghana has made substantial progress in containing the fiscal deficit. The government has shown remarkable courage and fortitude by contracting by 3.4% in 24 months. Our current deficit is 3.9%. We still have some ways to get to our regional target. As part of measures to ensure fiscal sustainability and promote budget credibility, Ghana passed a Fiscal Responsibility Act in December 2018 to cap the fiscal deficit to 5% of GDP and ensure annual positive primary balance at all times. Per the Act, a finance minister who breaches the fiscal rule by 1 percentage point or more without reasonable justification faces a vote of censure by Parliament. This is indeed a country resolved to put the sins of the past behind us.
So Ghana has currently met almost all the basic requirements for issuing the currency from next year, with the exception of the budget deficit target. In a related development, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia asked ECOWAS member countries to take a second look at the structure for implementing the common currency.
The WAMs continue to embrace a gradual and sustained spread of digital transactions in response to the quest to capture the unbanked into the formal banking sector. More and more innovative channels continue to be developed by fintechs, sidestepping all the cumbersome processes characterized by the traditional paper methods. However, in embracing digitization in the financial ecosystem, we should be mindful of the corporate governance challenges that may threaten the stability of the entire system. Strong corporate governance in the zone under the auspices of the College of Supervisors of West African Monetary Zone should be paramount in strengthening the financial sector of member countries. In Ghana, the Bank of Ghana led the charge in sanitizing the banking sector with several reforms, and this has resulted in the reduction in the number of universal banks from 34 to 22 at the beginning of 2019. The West African Monetary Zone Payments System Development Project has created the needed platform for effective and efficient payment systems in the Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone, which are compatible to the payment systems in Ghana and Nigeria.
Let's do some regional integration issues here. And the African Union says it has secured $5 million to finance its agency for civil aviation. The agency is tasked with the mandate of ensuring a smooth implementation of the single Africa air transport. Ghana is one of such countries that have signed onto the agreement, which is expected to create a single market for air transport that will result in cheaper flights, greater passenger volumes, and more economic benefits. AU Commissioner for Infrastructure and Energy, Dr. Abu Zaid Amani, says significant progress has been made to ensure the agreement comes into force.
We are cognizant of the importance of transport and particularly air transport, and we would like to increase the traffic, the air transport traffic, and also the capacity, and encourage African airlines to be the main operators on the continent. Of course, this would not happen without also some texts that regulate that market. So, so far also we were, I'm happy to report that by now we also finished the competition rules, also the legal document on the consumer protection regulations, the document on powers and functions of the executive agency, and what remains now is the dispute settlement mechanism. The first documents were already approved, and we're happy that we're seeing now 28 countries joining the single African air transport market, and 16 countries have already lifted all barriers and restrictions for air transport, and it's becoming now seamless between these 16 countries. A great achievement indeed, and we're really proud of our continent and of our African countries. I cannot leave the single African air transport market without also without mentioning the importance of our agency, the Agency for Civil Aviation, which is the spearhead that has the task and mandate also to capacitate our countries in order to carry out this very important endeavor. We were successful in mobilizing about $5 million now to support AFCAC and to appoint the new director in order to operationalize the action plan that we have adopted with all stakeholders present. We adopted it in March 2018, including, as I said, the industry, the international organizations, and all the organizations.
Dr. Abu Zaid Amani was speaking at a press conference in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Still in aviation, Askai Airlines is partnering Ethiopian Airlines to provide direct transatlantic flights to Los Angeles, USA. The initiative, according to the airline's authorities, will reduce travel time as well as see to a reduction in ticket prices. Speaking to Joy Business, the country manager for Askai, Wolanyo Afajinu, explained the improved services is to attract more passengers for the West African sub-region. There's more in this report.
Delta Airlines and South Africa Airways are the two airlines that operate direct services between Ghana and the U.S. However, in December, Askai, in collaboration with Ethiopian Airlines, also commissioned direct flights between Accra and Los Angeles. The new route is expected to provide more traveling options for passengers traveling to the United States, especially in destinations not served with direct flights from Accra. Country manager for Askai, Wolanyo Afajinu, said the new routes will not simply cut down time but reduce ticket prices as well.
What we have done in terms of the American route is to create direct flights. Now, when you book this flight, it becomes cheaper because you are booking one service instead of booking different carriers or different airline, which will give you two different fares. Now you are paying all, and all becomes one fare. And of course, it's at a reduced fare.
The country manager further revealed the airline could be exploring the South Africa routes this year.
The South African destination, Johannesburg, it's something that we can look at, and then it's been part of the plan for some time now. And I think in 2019, it's one of the destinations that we are going to develop from Lome, not just to create the flight, but we are looking at connectivity from the Central African region where some of these direct flights are not available.
For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklu.
Let's turn away from aviation now. The Kumasi Abattoir Company in the Ashanti region is currently producing below capacity of 60 cattle per hour. Owing to low supply from local livestock breeders, the company now relies on cattle imported from neighboring West African countries. Karen Dodu has the rest of the story.
The livestock slaughtering and processing factory in Kumasi was established in 1998 to provide high-quality meat and slaughtering services to butchers. Although the company is equipped with the right machinery, it is unable to produce to its full capacity of 60 cattle per hour. Daily, butchers in and around Kumasi buy fresh meat from the abattoir. Unfortunately, due to excess demand, latecomers sometimes leave with no meat or meat products to take away. Out of the 200 cattle processed daily, only 10% is sourced from the local cattle breeders. The rest come from Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger. Service manager for the butchery, Bright Amenofer, explains that they are forced to spend more as they have to change currencies before buying the foreign cattle from such countries.
Very, very expensive because it depends on the CFA CD exchange, the rate. So it's very expensive to us. We don't have the numbers at all in Ghana. What we have is not enough. So you realize that what we get from Ghana is just about 10% of what we slaughter in here, yes.
According to line manager Bababu, investment in cattle production by governments in these countries is high. This he noted as an incentive for livestock breeders. He believes that Ghana can do same if government begins to support the farmers.
The government should set in. The government should set in. There are some farmers who need money to intensify it. So when the monies are being given to them, from time to time, the agric officers, what have you, will then be checking them, seeing that if they are progressing or not. It might help.
So behind me is the market where people bring their cattle to sell to the abattoir. But the challenge is most of the cattle sold here are not from Ghana. From Mali and Niger, these cattle come all the way to Ghana to be bought. Now, out of the 200 cattle used or killed in a day, only 10% is from Ghana, meaning that we are not producing enough to meet demand. Reporting here from the Kumasi abattoir, I'm Karen Dodu for Joy Business.
Let's now turn attention to some financial issues. And Managing Director of the Republic Bank Ghana Limited, Anthony Jordan, is to retire from the bank in April this year. He has been at the helm of affairs since August 2017, when he was appointed to act as the MD and was confirmed in December of the same year. Anthony Jordan will be replaced by Farid Antar, subject to the approval of the Bank of Ghana.
Mr. Jordan, who has been working with the Republic Bank in the last 35 years, was seconded to the then HFC Bank Ghana headquarters, where he was the Assistant General Manager of the Corporate Business Center. He took over from Robert Luhant, who was recalled back home by the bank to take up a government ministerial appointment. Mr. Jordan is credited with overseeing the rebranding of the bank from HFC to become Republic Bank Ghana Limited and returning the bank to making profits after many years of losses. He is to be replaced by Farid Antar, effective April 17, 2019, but subject to approval by the Bank of Ghana. Farid is currently the General Manager of Group Enterprise Risk, a position he has held since 2017. He is also the Chief Risk Officer of Republic Financial Holdings Limited. Farid is a Fellow of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators and holds a Diploma in Banking from the Institute of Banking and also a Columbia Business School alumnus. Mr. Antar is expected in Ghana from March 1 this year.
Now, a financial economist, Collins Appiah, is advising entrepreneurs and other business owners who wish to raise funds to explore the option of the stock market rather than borrow from financial institutions. Speaking on the business edition of PM Express with Philip Namfuri on JoyNews last night, he said he believes the cost of raising capital on the stock exchange is much lower than raising loans from banks.
I think if you pick it from the cost implication or the transaction cost of getting listing, I would say no, because from where I sit, I think I've seen a lot of listing on the market, the prospectus that you mentioned, the fees that the financial advisor will charge the legal advisors, the stock exchange, and the levy too. Normally, when you put all together, I can tell you it doesn't more or less exceed even 5% of the amount you are trying to raise. And that's why initially the stock exchange made it there was a limit of capital that you can raise on the market. And if you are not able to meet that minimum limit, they don't allow you to list on the market. They realized, then afterwards, they realized that some of the small companies would not need such huge funds. Then they created the gas market, the alternative market for the amount of money people want to raise to be on the low side. The reason why I said I think the cost is not really a big issue is that, take a typical example, an entrepreneur prefers to go to a bank. How much interest rate are they getting from the banks?
About 26%.
Good.
Average.
So if you are paying 26% per annum, and somebody is willing to charge you not even more than 5% on raising funds freely to go and use in your business, why would you want to consider that? That's why I'm based on this. Then I'm saying that I think the problem is really not the cost implication of these charges that come with it.
He also called on government to put in place the right incentives as well as strategic framework that will see companies list on the stock market, especially foreign companies, which will come with some benefits for Ghanaians and the economy as a whole.
As a growing economy, we expect government policies to support the development of the exchange. The policies we are looking at is a typical example that they gave with MTN. When MTN wanted a 4G, I mean, the government could refuse not to give the license because it has the right. Then he said that, okay, if you want the license of the 4G, I also want to do this. That for me is more of a strategic way of helping, companies. And I will look at those policies geared towards the foreign entities rather than the locals. In that case, then we know that, one, you are doing that to grow, let your local Ghanaians take advantage of the stock market or having more shares to trade or to make money on, and also retaining or maintaining your foreign exchange, exchange rate, which I think is better for the development of the nation as a whole. It's only in that context. So, and that one we should only look at only the telecommunication alone, but other, the oil that we found. Almost all the companies that are drilling are foreign companies. Yeah. Yes, government have equity, a stake, certain percentage of royalties and other things. Why can't we also ask them that as part of it, we still expect that at this point in time, you should upload, you should list this number of shares on the market so that Ghanaians can also benefit, in this whole discussion.
It's live on the marketplace. It's a Friday and time to have a look at the performance of trading on the Ghana Stock Exchange. We focus on the equities, markets, the currencies, and of course, if time permits, we'll take a look at how some of the vibrant markets in Africa are also doing. To help me do the analysis is Bertha Atubiga, research analyst of Gold Coast. Bertha, you're welcome to the marketplace.
Thank you very much.
All right, so tell us what actually happened on the markets this week.
Okay, let me start with the local currency, that's the Ghana cedi. This week has not been so different from what we've been experiencing. The dollar, for instance, recorded no change. I mean, when you talk about the year-to-date depreciation, daily depreciations or appreciations of the cedi against these major trading currencies, we didn't see much change with the dollar on Monday. However, it depreciated by 0.15% on Tuesday, lost 0.00%. That means there was no change on Thursday and Wednesday. Thursday, it lost 0.12% to the dollar. It's currently recording year-to-date depreciation of 3.12% to the dollar. And to the euro, we saw it depreciating throughout the week. That means it lost from Monday to Thursday. It lost 0.13% on Monday and lost 0.33% on Thursday, recording year-to-date depreciation of 4.53%. These are based on the Gold Coast cedi index. And the euro, however, appreciated against the dollar. The cedi appreciated against the euro on the interbank market, went up by 0.20%, and by close of yesterday, we saw it appreciating by 0.08% and recording year-to-date decline of 2.32%. And we're expecting the that first quarter of this year for the cedi, we are expecting it to close not less than 3%. That's the year-to-date depreciation. We're expecting it to be around 3% by end of first quarter. And the reason being that if we see further depreciations, we expect the managers of the cedi to come in with some interventions so that we don't see it depreciate further than we expect. And moving on to the tradings on the Ghana Stock Exchange, by close of trade yesterday, we didn't see significant shares trading. Only 28,121 shares were traded, give us a value of 39,893.78 Ghana cedis. We had 14 equities participating in trade, and it ended with 4 gainers and just 1 loser. Leading the gainers list, we had the Trust Bank Limited, the Gambia, adding the most investors' capital, 13.04% share price appreciation, followed by, we also saw Some other equities, ETI went up by 6.67%, Societe Generale went up by 2.13%, and MTN Ghana appreciated by 1.35% by close of yesterday's trading session. SIC was the sole loser on the market. It lost 5% of its opening share price, however recorded the highest volumes of shares on the exchange. 8,600 shares were traded in SIC by close of trade, and we had CAL trading 6,900, MTN traded 3,200 shares, and the Trust Bank, which was the top gain on the market yesterday, traded 3,000 shares.
What about the petroleum equities? Which are the ones that are doing well so far?
Well, so far on the petroleum sector, we have GOL, we have Total. Probably we can add Tullow Oil, but let me talk about GOL and Total because they are the very active equities on the market. Currently, both equities are returning negatively to investors. That's the year-to-date returns for these equities are in the negatives. GOL, for instance, has a year-to-date has lost about 16 pesos in the last 10 trading days. It's lost. We haven't seen it add up to investors' capital in the last 10 trading days to investors. And Total, on the other hand, is also recording a year-to-date depreciation of about it's about 6% year-to-date depreciation. That's for Total. So if you look at the two, you realize that both of them are recording negative yields, that's the returns. But if you're looking at the margin by which they have gone down in the last 10 trading days, GOL has depreciated by 16 pesos. However, Total has gone down by a higher margin, more than 36 pesos has been lost in Total in the last 10 trading days.
All right. What's the outlook for next week if trading should open Monday?
We're expecting a lot of people. I was just listening to the earlier interview. We're expecting a lot of people to actually consider the equity market in these times, in a situation whereby we are not supposed to be looking out for extremely higher returns. That's to talk about the fixed rate. We are not supposed to be looking at that, but we should be looking at long-term gains. We shouldn't be satisfied with what we'll be getting in the short term. So we are encouraging more people to actually invest in equities, buy shares on the stock market so that we can see more volumes trading, because this week the volumes that traded on the stock market is not quite significant. We're expecting GOL is likely to shed some value again. There's been this trend of GOL on the stock market. It's more or less like losing almost every week on the exchange, and we expect that trend probably to continue
that's
into
quite
next
interesting,
week.
especially when they've partnered ExxonMobil, one of the world's largest.
Well, the stock market
the prospects should be good.
Okay, but you see, one thing about the Ghana Stock Exchange is that sometimes we have very positive information, but it is not consumed like it should be by the investing public.
Sure.
Okay, so, and the Ghana Stock Exchange is not as efficient as we have with other international markets. So some informations might have some positive impact, some wouldn't have that impact that we're looking out for. And one thing that we should not forget is that the market is determinant more on demand and supply of the shares.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very
Bertha,
much
for that update, and you can trust Bertha to be up to speed with the developments on the Ghana Stock Exchange every Friday on the marketplace. So February 12th is the date for the Joy Business PwC Knowledge Series on taxes, and you can join us at the Mervyn Peak Hotel. The program starts at 8:30 a.m. and of course we have a hashtag which is IntelliTax. And on that note, we wrap up this afternoon's edition of the program. Many thanks for keeping company with me throughout the week. Let's meet again on Monday for more business. My name is Emmanuel Apwanchi. Have a great week.